Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up.
Turbo Jesse.
Hey guys, I am officially back and I'm so excited to be back. New chair, but same old Turbo Jesse. So we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get right into this video. And it's all about the sequel to Breath of the Wild. I can't believe it's been almost 3 months since E3, and basically since that time, I've spent nothing else but just thinking of that trailer. There's just so much in it. I mean, there were just so many answers, but then for every answer, there was like a dozen new questions, so it's just really crazy. Over the last summer, I've spent a lot of time thinking about the trailers, the one from 2 years ago and the one from E3. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys all my thoughts. I'm going to give you some predictions of what I think the sequel to the Breath of the Wild could be all about. So you guys know what to do here. If you're new to the channel, definitely think about liking, subscribing, all that weird YouTube stuff. And let's get this channel back up and going. There's not much more to say than you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. There's not much more to say. Then grab your favorite snack. Yum, 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 yum. Enjoy the video, and here we go. Alright, let's jump right into this video. I've watched basically every prediction and theory out there and kind of put all that together and kind of thought of my own stuff right here. So one of the things I really think this game is going to be all about is time travel. That's right. I think that this game is going to take place over multiple timelines. I know this might get a little confusing, but not really. So honestly, I think Link and Zelda are going to screw up big time in the beginning of this game, and then Link is going to have to go back in time to fix the errors of the present. So there might be a timeline thousands of years ago when you're the hero. There might be a timeline where all the islands are floating in the sky, and you know, you're gonna have to go around fixing all these issues so you can go back to the original timeline or the present and save Zelda and defeat Ganon again. This gives the player multiple new Hyrules to play in. I know we're going to be playing in the same map, but if it's from 1,000 years ago or 500 years ago, there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of changes to make Hyrule feel unique. When the trailer finally did end back at E3 2021, we were all really hoping that the name would be revealed, but it wasn't. All we got was 2022. And Bill Trinen in a later interview said that they didn't want to give away the name because they didn't want to spoil what the game could be about. So I honestly really think at the bottom of my heart the name is going to have something to do with time, or you know, I think it's going to be like Time of the Wild or Breath of Time, something like that, that if you heard the name, you would know it kind of has to do with time travel and would be a big spoiler. I mean, why else wouldn't they say the name if it didn't have to do with time travel? I can't think of any other word or phrase that would be such a big spoiler. So the really cool thing is, if it does have to do with time travel, then it's kind of like Ocarina of Time and Skyward Sword together. It'd be really cool if in this Zelda maybe you went back kind of almost into reimagined old Zelda games and had to correct certain issues that happened there to fix the present. I mean, with time travel, there's just so much opportunity. I mean, if you saw Avengers Endgame, time travel could be really, really cool if it's done correctly, so I'm all for it. Next, let's pivot to how you're actually going to be playing this game and the story, and you know, if it's going to be cinematic. And I actually think that Breath of the Wild is such an amazing open air experience, and I think they're going to rein it back a little bit, and this story is going to be a little more linear. And let me say, it's going to be an open world, definitely, but I think the story beats are going to be more linear. It's not like you're going to go all over the world and have to find random memories. I think the next beat or the next story beat is going to be right in front of you, and it's going to be like your main #1 objective. So we'll get a really fat story. I mean, I've read a lot that the developers of Breath of the Wild Part 2 played Red Dead Redemption 2 a lot and found some inspirations from that game. If you play that game, you can do anything you want at any time, and there's so many side quests, but there is a main story beat that you have to accomplish to get to the next one, and that would just be perfect for this game. Give you the freedom to do whatever you want, but if you want to stick to the main story, it's right there in front of you. Also, something big, something really, really big that I think fans, if you took a poll and asked them what they want returned from traditional Zelda games, would be dungeons. And I think they're going to be back, and I think they're going to be back in a big way. I bet there's gonna be like 8 dungeons, and they're gonna be very like new but traditional. Maybe it'll be a water temple or a volcano temple, but I would love to see dungeons. That's not saying I don't want shrines or smaller tests too. I do love a bite-sized shrine or a puzzle or a test, but I think there's gonna be big, huge dungeons that take you at least an hour to complete. And that goes back to, the linear narrative of this, what I think the game's gonna be like. Granted, it's going to be open, and maybe you could do the dungeons in any order you want, or there's a few set ones that you could do in any order that you want, but I would just love to have big dungeons back that, boggle my brain and get me frustrated and I have to put the controller down and pick it up later to finish. I just love that kind of stuff, and that's what Zelda's all about for me. So I love dungeons, and I really, 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 really hope they're back. So something I do want to talk about that's been discussed, and that's playable Zelda. Honestly, I don't think Zelda's going to be playable. I don't think she's going to have her own like side quests where like she falls down and has to get out of the cave by herself. Honestly, I think just like most Nintendo games, the princess needs to be saved. And unfortunately, because I would like to play as Zelda, unfortunately, I think Link is going to be on this journey or this hero's quest to save Zelda once again. Another thing that's kind of people have been talking about is why didn't Nintendo show Link's face in some of these scenes in this trailer? I don't think Nintendo's hiding anything right there. I think it's just a lot of the time when you're playing as Link, you don't see his face because, he's running in front of you. And how could he see his face if he's running in front of you? I don't know. So I think people are just making an ant out of a molehill or molehill out of an anthill. I don't know that saying anymore, but what I'm trying to say, right? I just don't think it's a big deal that we haven't seen Link's face. Granted, I do think there's going to be time travel, so the character might look a little different, longer hair, different clothes, but I just think it's Link. I don't think you're playing as Ganon or anything crazy like that. Don't get crazy. Don't get nuts.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
And I've also heard people complain that this doesn't look like a real sequel. Trust me, there is going to be so much new content. There's going to be new NPCs that are your friends. There's going to be so many new animal types. There's going to be new enemies. There's going to be new weapons. There's just going to be so much new content in this game that your head is freaking gonna spin. And you know what? Weapons are gonna break again, and you're gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry. That is a part of this type of game style, And for me personally, yes, I love certain swords, and I was upset when they broke, but give you the opportunity to play with new swords or new weapons. So I'm sorry, weapons are gonna break. You're big boys and you're big girls. Just get over it. Broken weapons is not that bad. So now some bad news. I know September is here, and we usually get a September Direct. But don't look for another trailer for Breath of the Wild right now in September. I honestly, my gut feeling is we might not see another trailer till E3 2022, and that just makes me really sad. There's a slight possibility we might get some information or some sort of trailer at the Game Awards, but that's still in December, so we have to wait a long time for any more information. But I really do think this is going to be a 2022 title. I think it just makes so much sense for this to be October 2022. So 1 year from now. So I guess we just have to wait a year. But I don't think we're going to get that much information in the coming months. So we just have to be patient. And I know, being patient sucks, but sometimes you just got to do it. Anyway, guys, what do you think of my thoughts? What do you think of my predictions? Is there anything that you really think is going to happen in this game that we've learned from the trailers? Let me know right down in the comment section, and let me know. I'll be sure to get back to you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know I took the summer off. I just got a new job. I have a baby. I have family trips. I don't know. Just a lot of stuff. But I'm back now. I am back, just like CM Punk, just like, everybody. Sometimes you get a little burnt, but when you come back, I am just re-energized. I already have I have 4 videos in the works right now, so you'll be seeing a lot of Turbo Jesse in your feed. So definitely think about subscribing, hitting that like button. I have a Patreon too, I have merchandise, I have all that YouTube stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, guys, I am Turbo Jesse, and I'll see you on the flip side.